Oh my god, what the fuck?
What?
Guess who met Josh, the new guy at Blue's Clues?
Who
met him? Yeah, who met him?
Ultraman.
No.
R.L. Stein.
I wish, no.
Steve.
No!
I've seen that picture around.
I love that. Which, I have been watching the new Blue's Clues. It's damn good.
I thought you were going to say I've been watching the new Irate Gamer.
I mean, that
It's damn good.
Irate Gamer's pretty consistently on the fence. I think I've only seen like one episode of his that I would really vouch for as decent.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. But
The
he's
angry
fine.
video game nerd.
Angry video game nerd. Irate Gamer. Also, don't believe his celebrity shit. I watched his RoboCop one finally, and it's just him playing the cameo of that he bought from the fucking actor of RoboCop.
It's cheating. You can't do that way.
What makes it especially heinous is that every now and then he would fucking talk to the actor, like address him, he'd be like, "Right, RoboCop," and then he'd play like a snippet from the cameo as a response.
That would be like us saying we got Joey's World Tour on our show and then playing both of the cameos that you got for your birthday.
Honestly, yeah.
Well, you gave up your Shark Boy and Lava Girl cold open for Irate Gamer.
Well, let's see, I can do that too. There's two characters I want to talk about from the Shark Boy and Lava Girl sequel, quote unquote. It's more like a alternate spin-off sort of deal that includes all the kids of different superheroes. It's
The child of Mr. Latrocydad.
We were rooting for Mr. Electric to make a cameo, but he never did.
Electric Jr.
Electric Jr. I wish, but Ernie. So
They do like in the George Lopez show where they put his head on a kid's body.
yeah, I wish.
They pitch his voice up.
There's two kids. It's a classroom full of superhero kids that all have their own powers. Main girl doesn't have a power, of course, so it's like My Hero Academia, except Midori didn't cheat. So nonetheless, so there's two kids in particular that I want to talk about. The first kid is a guy in a wheelchair, and so main girl meets him, they're talking all that mess, but then somehow the fact that he's in a wheelchair gets addressed out of nowhere. He's like, "I know what you're thinking, that that I can't do anything because of my impediment, but actually I'm strapped to this chair because my legs are so strong that if I were released, that I'd destroy everything."
Destroy everything.
Something of that nature. The gag is his legs are super powerful, and that's why he's strapped to a chair.
I'll give him that. I've never heard that one before.
I
That's
like-
pretty good.
I was like, that's great. That's actually a good friggin' thing for them to pull, because like, given the nature of the show, that's the first thing you would expect is he's the
smart one.
Yeah, the smart one / friggin' representation sort of deal, but they pull that and it's like, oh, that's pretty fun. It never pays off. There's a scene where they're about to like fight this guy and the friggin' kid is like revving up his chair like, oh, he's gonna throw off the inhibitor chair. He's gonna fucking kill these guys. But no, it never pays off, and I was rooting for him to get out of his chair, because it's like, imagine that, this kid is like, he like sits up and breaks the world with his strong ass legs. But that never occurs. The other one is this kid whose power is he can morph his face into anyone's reflection face. He can master of disguise kind of deal.
Mr. 2.
Yeah, essentially. But so he's demonstrating this power in class. There's this black kid sitting beside him. He's like, "I can even do you." And I was like, no, they wouldn't. Not in this. No.
I can even do you.
So he does it. He doesn't do the skin color. He just does the facial features.
Interesting.
I was like, they would not be that level of edgy. No fucking way.
Well, like, if it was more than just a face thing, then they could just, like,
if it was
swap it, but if it's
right.
only his face, but he still has, like, I'm presuming the kid's white?
Yeah, he's
white.
Latino, so
Okay.
it's like, He's Latino, but he's still pretty white. Let's put it that
Just
way.
like clashing skin tones on the screen.
Yeah, exactly. So it's basically like if they pasted the guy's face on his and then color coded it. Like they did it all through CG, so it's not like all that great, but like it's still that caught me so far off guard. I remember leaning back in my chair going, "No, come on. No way."
So out of 10, what do you give the movie?
I'd give it a solid 7. Like it's not bad.
That's pretty high.
Yeah, it's not terrible. Like it's not fucking I wouldn't put it, I don't know. I would put it about on par with the original, honestly, depending on how you feel about it. I thought the original was, like, it had a lot of flaws, but, like, it's passable. Like, when I watched it, I didn't hate it or anything like that. It had a lot of imagination to it, and I appreciate that. The original was funnier, and I feel like there wasn't a lot of comedy. It's a very modern movie, so you get a lot of fucking kids schooling the old adult boomers, quote unquote.
Hell yeah.
Or whatever, and it's like, cool, great, I love these characters so much.
I fucking hate grown-ups, you know what I'm saying, dude?
Yeah, these fucking children.
Get bent, Grandpa.
There's this really cool dude who's basically Luffy. He's like this, he's this black guy with really tall afro hair. He's got friggin' rubber powers. He's neat.
You did a gesture like in the movie, he stretches his fingers out like a spider web.
Yeah, I think he did something like the finger shield that Luffy does at some point.
In gross CG.
Yeah. Well, honestly, CG, yeah, it was like, it's freaking Spy Kid CG, but it never got to a point, like, they knew how to angle it so it didn't look stupid. So it's like, it's obviously CG, but it's not like an eyesore.
And on the topic of awkward children's entertainment,
Crossing the Line is not a show intended to bully or harass anyone. Do not go out of your way to mess with the authors who write these fanfics. They make what we do possible. Thanks. Enjoy.
welcome to Crossing the Line, a fanfiction podcast where we read, review, and critique fanfiction for your listening pleasure. I'm George G. Poole, and as always, we've got Elias Viva Vlogs.
Hello.
And Stephen Blue Breed.
Hello.
And today we're talking about iCarly. We're not going to sing the theme song because we did that in the last episode.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's good. That means we can just start reading. Who wants to go? Wait, what's everybody's experience with iCarly?
I watched it. I thought it was confusing that Miranda Cosgrove was in two places at once for a little bit.
Oh, yeah, true.
Because Drake and Josh was still airing when iCarly started.
How do you feel about the laugh track episodes versus the non-laugh track episodes?
Aren't they all laugh track episodes?
I want to say they dropped it after a certain point.
I don't think they did, because iCarly got more and more outlandish as it went on.
Yeah, I remember seeing a really late episode, like even the friggin' Pawn Star episode had a laugh track.
Mm-hmm.
Did Drake and Josh always have a laugh track too?
Yeah.
What show am I thinking of that dropped the laugh track after a certain amount of time?
I don't know.
I think maybe iCarly had more quiet moments, so maybe you could say
Maybe you
that.
just weren't laughing as hard.
Yeah, maybe I drowned out the laughter with my own later on.
But pretty much same. I watched it. I enjoyed it. It was one of probably one of the last like really genuinely decent Nick sitcoms.
What, you didn't like Sam and Cat? You didn't like Game Shakers?
I didn't watch Sam.
You didn't like
Cat.
Henry Danger?
I didn't watch what's that other one?
Henry Danger?
Not the one before that.
Game Shakers starring Pro Jared?
I didn't watch Game Shakers, and from what Pro Jared said about that show, I probably would not have enjoyed it very much.
He did make a video the day the show premiered saying the show sucked, even though he's in the first episode.
Aww. Fucking god.
It's fucking cold as hell.
I'm never gonna get a promo from Nick again.
No, not at all.
Friggin' as far as Henry Danger's concerned, I've heard good things and I've heard bad things. The animated show looks so bastardly horrible that I think I'd enjoy like watching what a train wreck it is. But aside from that,
I don't feel like it. I
Yeah.
feel like the cartoon show can't like even goes past the train wreck part where it's just bad and it's not fun to watch.
I have to sit through an episode and see like where I stand on it
Because like the show barely translates as a live action, but then just you can tell by the way it's animated, they're not getting anything extra out of it being an animated series.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not adding anything at all.
It's just cutting paychecks.
But it's like, what's the point when all the cast is there anyway? The show clearly didn't last for very long. Now they have Danger Force, where the main Henry Danger's gone, but everyone else is still there, which is really stupid. I won't lie, Henry Danger made me laugh sometimes. I can't remember any jokes, but I did laugh at some things. Generally just like really over the top stupid stuff with Captain Man. He's the only joy in that show. His power is indestructible, so they have constant gags where people like hit him over the head with stuff. He just like screams. he still feels pain. He's just indestructible.
Oh, that's great. That's actually pretty genius, honestly.
Yeah. So like, he's like, "Can I hit you over the head with this 2x4?" He's like, "Yeah." Anyway, iCarly, Miranda Cosgrove, Jeanette McCurdy, Nathan Barnett, Jerry Traynor, Noah Monk.
Jeanette McCurdy's got an ass.
Okay.
It was pretty good.
I like the show.
She's a child. You can't say that.
She wasn't when the fappening happened.
She wasn't when the show started. They were all like ancient beings playing these high school characters.
I think it worked for Spencer since he was supposed to be an ambiguously older brother.
It worked for Spencer, but like all of them were like, I don't know if they were over 18 when the show started, but they definitely were over 18 when the show ended.
I mean, Freddie was really young looking, but even him by like season 3 looked like he was like 18 at least.
Yeah, puberty hit him like a truck.
It did. Yeah. Holy shit.
He became a completely different person over one season.
He really did. Friggin' speaking of Spencer, I remember some of my favorite online fan theories was that fucking he's crazy Steve and he like kidnapped kids.
He kidnapped Megan and forced her to call herself Carly.
That's horrible. I could imagine him just like Spencer just going crazy and becoming crazy Steve later in life.
I know what you're thinking of. They did the Merry Christmas Drake and Josh, and that movie didn't have a laugh track, but it was still like more or less shot like a sitcom.
Yeah, I thought it worked well. I love that movie.
Yeah,
it's a fun movie. It's got stupid parts for sure, but it's got Bludge. Bludge is funny.
It's got
Josh Peck went to jail.
I like Crazy Steve and his fucking wood chipper. She's a wood chipper. She destroys anything I put inside of her! Anything.
They cover their yard with cheese.
Yeah! To get it to snow for the kids' Christmas, they put cheese in the fucking wood chipper and it blows cheese all over the place.
That's awful.
So they're throwing cheese balls at each other.
Yeah!
All right. I think we've said all that needs to be said about iCarly. I'm going to go ahead and start this time because I got dicked hard last time.
Yeah, go ahead.
In our Soul Eater episode. I actually really liked that episode. Go check out the Soul Eater episode if you haven't listened to it already.
Same.
Okay. Our first fan fiction. Guys, check it out! Freddie Benson called to his two friends from his comfortable seat on Carly's couch. "What's shaking, Bacon?" Carly asked happily, sauntering through into the living room with a glass of lemonade in her hand.
Glass of Chardonnay.
A glass of vodka in her hand.
Just hard liquor.
Spencer's big old barrel of it that he sits on.
He is always sitting on that big barrel of liquor.
A giant comedy gag that he calls an art project. His big moonshining. So, we got 2 paragraphs into this story, or 2 sentences, and I already got the Spencer making moonshine.
It's like Carly limping down the stairs, clutching the railing, swirling a glass of hard liquor.
Carly, you don't understand. The 3 X's are artistic on the barrel.
That would be a very funny gag where Spencer makes moonshine. And he calls the whole structure an art project.
He tries to call the police because he's blind, but it just sounds incoherent.
They can do another History Channel rep with the moonshiners.
There is the canon.
I buy moonshine.
There's the canonical Pawn Stars iCarly crossover.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Sam followed close behind, saying through a mouthful of fat cake, "Oh, bacon? Where?" causing Carly to snort and giggle. Just like that. "Look," Freddy says, holding up his laptop. "This Kira guy is killing criminals all over the world just by looking them up on the internet."
Wait, who said that?
Freddy.
Freddy's gonna
He's the
become
tech guy.
I say, shut up, Freddy.
He's become a follower.
No.
Oh no.
Sam swallowed, and she and Carly skim-read the news article. "Oh," Carly gasped, muttering. "Sam's mom is in jail."
Mm-hmm.
"My mom's not the only one with a criminal record," Sam said shakily. Carly and Freddy's eyes widened as they remembered the numerous occasions on which they had gone to film iCarly, only to find that the blonde was in juvie for assaulting someone with the lid of a smoothie cup. Could Sam be the next in line for Kira's ruthless killings?
This is not where I thought this was going at all.
You were just having so much fun with your iCarly Chardonnay.
I'm trying to imagine the laugh track with all this Kira talk.
I just,
It's
Freddy's
like, wait, Sam's mom is in prison. As they both look at Sam and they have to wait for the laugh track to stop.
Freddy says, this person is killing famous criminals, and then Carly goes, "Hey Sam, your mom's a petty theft, right? She could die from Kira." Sam's like, "Why would you say that, Carly?"
Hold on. Carly pondered her friend's predicament, and suddenly her face lit up with a mischievous smile. "Guys, I have an idea." Oop. She burped in the middle of that sentence, too. She turned on the heels of her Converse and dashed up the stairs, yelling, "Spencer!" Spencer Shea was at that moment clutching 2 potatoes. I thought it was going to say clutching his heart.
The concept of Spencer being Kira crossed my mind, and I'm gonna be fucking losing it.
I pictured him clutching his heart, and then like the music from the show playing, where it's like, dun 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 dun.
Or the music from iCarly, where it's just like,
Just gag dying.
I'll pick up a potato chip and eat it.
Yeah, it does. It does the transition of Carly going up the stairs, and it goes out into a video file. Then it clicks on the other one, and Spencer's just on the ground, grabbing his chest, kicking his legs. Carly. Anyway, clutching 2 potatoes as if his life depended on it. Well, in his mind, they did. These potatoes were the finishing details on a sculpture requested by the very rich salesman, and it had to be perfect. "What?" he yelled as Carly came hurtling through the door. "What's the name of that one foreign cousin we have?" she asked, not even bothering to ask why he was grasping 2 lumpy yellow vegetables. Were they veggies? In parentheses. After all, she had seen weirder. "Who, Fernandez?" he said, attempting to blow a strand of his slightly long hair out of his eyes, so you can tell exactly what season they're on based on Spencer's hair.
Spencer's making potato chips to eat while he kills people.
He's making potato chips from scratch, using his bare hands, squeezing them so thin. Carly shook her head. "No, it's like Matsu or something." Spencer smiled in recognition. "Ah, Matsuda. Toda Matsuda. He's a detective in Japan."
Why Matsuda?
Isn't Matsuda like the good boy?
I think so. I'm gonna double check. That's funny because he kind of looks like Spencer.
You're not even wrong about that. Yeah, Matsuda.
Yeah, it's the good boy.
Oh my god.
The good boy cop.
Mm-hmm. That's hilarious. "Yeah, I know. Do you have his cell number?" Carly asked, tapping her foot impatiently. "Yeah, it's in my contacts," Spencer replied, gesturing to his pear-shaped smartphone on a nearby table with a nod of his head. Carly snatched up the phone and ran back downstairs, and her brother yelled at her, "Wait! Carly! I need a smoothie!" Matsuda's phone rang in his pocket as he walked towards Task Force HQ. Pulling the smartphone out of his suit pocket, he looked at the number. He didn't recognize it. It couldn't be Kira, could it? He shook his head, mentally chiding himself for being so panicky. Quickly, he answered it. Hello? This is Matsuda. Hey, Matsuda, it's Carly. Carly Shay. A cheery teenage girl smiled.
In English.
Said. Matsuda smiled, remembering his little cousin. Oh, hi, Carly. I haven't seen you since you were like 6. You're like 15 now, right?
Get my number, Carly.
You're like 18 now, right?
I love
I
iCarly.
haven't talked to you in over 10 years. How did you get my number?
Can I come on, iCarly? Mm-hmm. So, you're a detective over in Japan, right? Carly asked. Yeah, why? Freddy was reading about the Kira case and was wondering if you knew anything about it. We need help. Carly was serious now, her voice pleading.
We need help. The country of Japan needs help, Carly.
First off, Matsuda doesn't know who the fuck Freddy is. Help? Why? Matsuda asked, not sure if Elle would want him telling anyone about the case. Our friend, Sam, has a bit of a bad reputation with the cops. We're worried that Kira might target her. Matsuda gasped and sputtered. I see. I'll see what I can do. Down at HQ. I'll talk to the chief, but I don't really know if I can do much. I'm fairly new to this division. He refrained from telling her that he was actually at the center of the Kira investigation. Yeah, thanks, Matsuda. Carly sighed, sounding less hopeful by the minute. Bye, Matsuda said, hanging up the phone. Thanks for... What are family for, huh? You won't even get me delicate police files. This is why we stopped talking to you people. He goes, you people? And she hangs up.
Carly, how's your dad doing?
Dude, I went to Japan once.
That's what the movie was called. I Go to Japan. I went to Japan.
I go to Japan.
I go to Japan.
They had the very painful gag where they try to translate it through friggin' a dictionary or whatever to the guard.
And they didn't visit Matsuda.
No. Bye, Matsuda said, hanging up the phone. As he entered the task force headquarters, he promised himself that he would talk to Elle, for his cousin, for Carly. Chapter 2, subtitled, Move Over, I Wanna Watch. Oh, the first chapter was called Like Matzi or something. I missed that.
Uh-huh.
Carly put down the phone with a sigh. I'm really sorry, Sam, she said, plonking down on the sofa next to Freddy. Who even was that, Carls? Sam asked, looking slightly less nervous than she had 10 minutes ago.
What kind of nickname is Carl?
Carls. The big Carlo de Combo.
God damn, I go to the drive-thru.
God, I hope we get Richie on our podcast someday. At Rich Alvarez.
I sure hope so. I hope we get a guest spot on his new show.
If only. Go youtube.com/Rich Alvarez and watch his new video. Thank you. My cousin, Toda Matsuda. He's a detective in Japan. I thought he might be able to help, but it turns out he's practically an amateur, Carly cried, throwing her hands up in an exasperation. Freddy almost awkwardly put a hand on her shoulder. Almost. He's hover-handing her as they're sitting next to each other on the couch. Come on, Carly. We can't just give up on him.
It's like I can put this hand on your shoulder, Carly.
Carly's phone rang. She shook Freddy off and almost dove to the coffee table, clutching the vibrating pear-shaped cell phone. It was a withheld number, and Carly hesitantly answered it. Hello? Hello, is this Miss Carly Shay, cousin of Tota Matsuda? It was a male voice, speaking English with a Japanese accent. A bit like Tota, but somewhat more fluent, as if he had been speaking English more often. Yes, this is Carly. Who's this? Carly asked nervously. I am Elle. I am currently at the center of the Kira case. Matsuda has informed me of your friend's situation, and I believe we can use it to our advantage. But I need your assistance. How?
Okay. I thought he was going to say, I can help you. He's like, I actually want to take advantage of you. Thank you for answering the phone.
I think we can kill your friend and figure this out.
Well, you have to do is make your friend's mom a world-famous criminal.
Or your friend. Either or. The man, L, informed her. Carly frowned. She frowned so loud he could hear it over the phone. Just like the low static, like,
A sour note.
Yuck.
Hangs up on him.
Carly frowned. What could we do?
They
she
actually
asked.
made her situation worse by calling.
Yeah.
Now they're targeting her.
Now the people that are fighting Kira are using her as ammunition. She asked as Freddy and Sam danced about frantically, Muttley asking her what the heck was going on.
Mutely.
Elle took a minute before answering. I want you, Samantha, and Fredward to come to Japan.
Fredward.
Oh, there's a page break. Just you, Sam, and Freddy? Spencer had finally let go of his potatoes and was not happy with the arrangements that had been made by Elle, which he had been incapacitated.
Oh no.
Incapacitated?
Incapacitated?
Holding
What?
potatoes. Yeah, I tried to convince him to let you come, but he said it simply...
Did not, Carly!
Yeah, but she's saving face right now.
Oh my fucking god.
iCarly's the Mary Sue, whether everybody knows it or not.
Spencer was in the room. He knows she did not try to get him to change.
No, he was in his room squeezing potatoes.
Oh.
She ran back downstairs with his phone to
Oh,
call
that's right.
Matsuda. Yeah, I tried to convince him to let you come, but he said it simply wouldn't do, and that he could only get us 3 plane tickets. Carly recounted her earlier conversation with the mysterious detective. Freddy was sat on one of the beanbags in the studio, with his computer on his lap, and Sam sat on the hood of the fake car. Hey, guys, I think I found this L person, Freddy said, frowning at his laptop.
Oh no.
Freddy freaking found Elle.
He doxed him at last. It took Freddy one Google search, something the entirety of Japan could not do.
I traced
Yeah.
your cell phone and doxed Elle.
No, you didn't. Who is he? Carly asked, both she and Spencer turning to Freddy. He's the world's greatest detective, apparently. A complete genius. He's solved every case he's ever taken on, and he's sort of a last resort for the police. Nobody knows his name or what he looks like. I had to bypass 3 security codes to even get through the basic stuff that the police know. Freddy replied, his eyebrows raised almost skeptically.
This gang of fucking gag Americans stumbling upon this fucked up situation.
They only heard about this thing like 10 minutes ago.
Freddy's a genius.
They're already in deep. They got themselves involved in this.
Yeah, Freddy started just saying like, hey guys, check this out. The maniac's killing people.
Our lives are in danger.
And Carly's
now.
like,
Well,
they have to go to
Sam's
Japan.
life is in danger. Freddy's fine.
They have to go to Japan. They have to do something about this. It's on them.
Yeah. How are they gonna help? What are they gonna do to help Elle? Just be cannon fodder? It's like they already were gonna find out about me sooner or later. I have to get rid of them now. God, I would love to see Freddy do something as big-brained as Light giving up the Death Note to get it back later on.
I'm running through every possible friggin' option for who friggin' Kira could be. I swear to God, if it's who I think it is.
Probably just real Kira. They have real L.
But what if real L is like L for Lubert?
Let Yagami and Spencer become friends.
What if Kira's fucking
They play tennis together.
Neville Papperman?
I wouldn't like that. No, but he is a criminal. He wouldn't kill criminals. What? Fredward Benson hacked into the police? But that's bad. What if your mommy found out? She teased, painfully poking Freddy between the eyes.
Ow.
He swatted her away, quipping, "You seem awfully calm for someone at risk of being murdered." Sam grinned cockily, ruffling Freddy's hair. "Hey!" and saying, "Oh, Fredward. Why do they keep calling him Fredward? Why did Elle call him Fredward?"
Elle loves iCarly.
Elle speaks English well enough to do that.
To do a Google research on Freddie Benson's real name.
Elle speaks iCarly.
He says, Elle, I doxed you. And then Elle's like, yeah, well, I doxed you too. That's how I knew your nickname.
Fredward. He goes,
He's like, this guy's good.
He feels a sinking feeling in his heart.
Elle watches iCarly every week. Sitting, squatting at his computer.
Elle, we have an important development on the case. I'm watching iCarly.
Silently watching it. Not reacting in the slightest, but he still watches it every week.
I love random dancing.
Messing with Lubert is so funny. Oh, how I wish I could mess with Lubert.
Is this what America's really like?
I would love to get inside Lubert's mind.
These poor kids, they have no idea what they're fucking with.
Well, Sam and her mom shouldn't have been criminals. Oh, Fredward. When you have the world's top detective on your back, you don't need to worry about serial killers. Her tone was laced with sarcasm, and Carly huffed. We actually need to get to Japan first. Spencer growled grumpily. You're not going without an adult. Sam rolled her eyes. Spence, I think we'll be fine. Your life is on the line.
Freddie.
Freddie needs to film it.
Neither of us can use a camera, and Freddie has to come.
Freddie's gonna get the first filmed footage of Elle. He's gonna play it live on iCarly.
Just walks into Elle's office with a live video feed.
Oh my god.
His big camera on his shoulder. Sitting there.
Elle's eyes go wide as he looks at his monitor, then back at Freddie, then back at his monitor.
He's like, and in 5, 4, 3, 2.
I'm Carly, I'm Sam, and this is Elle. And then they make him do random dancing.
He spins in his chair.
They do the dance that Elle and them did when they were handcuffed together.
Yeah.
God, what if Sam and Elle handcuffed each other together?
They make a good pair.
Okay, where was I? Yeah, good luck getting Freddie's mom to let you go. He quipped back, storming out of the studio. He then stormed back in, grabbed his glass of punch, and stormed out again with a noticeably redder face. The teenager's faces fell. He's getting so mad. Spencer's gonna put a hole in the wall. Oh, they all sighed in unison. There was no way that Mrs. Benson was going to let Freddie go to Japan alone. Well, how on earth are we going to pull this off? Freddie wondered, burying his face in his palm. Page break. Scene transition. Yeah, take Spencer. But Elle needs Fredward. He needs his brain.
That's the ploy all along.
He's smarter than N ever wishes he could be.
He outsmarts Kira.
He probably could. Wow, thanks, Ryuzaki. I really can't believe you do this. Matsuda bounced around the task force headquarters nervously, thanking the great detective for what must have been the 20th time that day. Matsui, I must ask you to calm down. Perhaps some cake? Elle held up an admittedly delicious-looking piece of chocolate cake with a fork stabbed through a red cherry on top. I don't think Matsui needs cake right now, Ryuzaki. Light Yagami suggested from his huddled position on a sofa, with his laptop resting on his knees. There was one earphone on his chest and another in his ear. Light's gonna be right there and hear Sam say she's a criminal. And look her dead in the eye.
What's your name?
So Sam what?
Can you spell that for me?
Let me
Write that here.
Makes her write it down. Everybody who comes in here has to sign the guest book, Sam.
Fucking nobody.
Nobody else's name is on the guest book.
just her name will do.
Nobody.
No one else has to sign it, just her.
I don't look at the title.
see. What are you doing, Light? Elle asked, swiveling his chair around to face the ginger brunette. Light looked a little sheepish and answered quietly after a moment. I thought I'd look at this iCarly web show Matsui's cousin ran, and it's pretty funny. Light doesn't laugh at anything! But iCarly?
He's just playing he's playing a character.
You're right. I'm trying to
until he laughs, he's just playing a character.
I'm trying to track down what part of the timeline this is. I'm guessing it's when he's given up the book, so he's got the pretty boy eyes, and he's actually hunting for Kira for real.
Actually, genuinely watching iCarly.
Light, what do you think about messing with Lubert?
It's pretty funny. I like the one where the muffin exploded.
Have you ever messed with Lubert, Light?
I could.
Oh my god.
What a fucking stare down.
He's gonna have a heart attack with his hand stuck in the Wahoo punch machine.
Light's gonna say, watch this, and Lubert's gonna die from one of their pranks.
That one episode where Lubert gets fucked up and they have to take care of him was just Light.
Light can write an entire messing with Lubert episode as long as it ends with him dying.
One entire
I forgot he
page.
can do that. He can literally write out like the entirety of events that play out as long as it ends up with them dying. And the Death Note makes it happen.
Jesus Christ.
He sticks his arm in the Wahoo punch machine, and the Wahoo punch machine falls over on him, and then a laugh track goes off.
Oh my lord.
He's like, "Oh, come here, help me write some fan fiction." He writes this entire lengthy scene.
Matsuda jumped. "You're watching iCarly?" he exclaimed. "Move over, I want to watch." The excitable officer practically jumped onto the couch next to Light and shoved the other earphone in his ear. They're sharing earphones together. Light pressed play, and within minutes, both were in utter hysterics. With the broad light cast between laughs. And the little one, oh god, the little kid without the shirt. Matsuda giggled, hunched over and clutching his stomach.
I loves Gibby.
Elle gave an exasperated sigh and brought a large forkful of cake into his mouth. He's two like grown men watching iCarly on the couch together.
Supposed to be investigating the case.
There'll be hell.
They are.
There'll be hell to pay if anyone fucks with Gibby.
He's just gonna write Gibby in the Death Note and see what happens.
Light's gonna be laughing, then watch them commit a crime on screen, and his face is gonna go deadly serious. He's gonna pull out his notebook. Sam had missed the shoplifting on stream, and he pulls out his notebook.
What was her full name again?
Sam Puckett.
Thanks. Let me write that down for later. See, giggling, laughing, bra, Gibby. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I brought a forkful of cake to his mouth. When the Task Force HQ phone began to ring, cake forgotten at the table, Al picked up the phone between his thumb and forefinger and raised it to his ear. Hello? Ah, yes. Oh, I see. Of course. He hung up and looked over to Matsuda and Light, who were mutely asking for an explanation of this short conversation. It seems that Seattle is experiencing some difficult weather next week. L began thoughtfully pressing his thumb to his upper lip. No, there's no two ways about it. We'll have to do it tomorrow, he murmured, and began pressing the number to his phone. He pressed it to his ear again and waited for the person on the other line to pick up. Ah, hello again, Miss Shea. I do hope everything's all right. Shut up, Mrs. Benson! He's on the phone! Carly quickly pulled the phone back up to her ear. Hello, Mr. L? From the apartment hallway, a distant, You tell that creeper to stay away from my Freddy! Carly rolled her eyes and then winced as the sound of Sam pinning someone against the apartment door came soon after. Mom! Freddy's strangled cry came from the door.
Oh no.
Wow.
A bemused Elle replied, hello again, Miss Shea. I do hope everything's all right. Carly answered with a strained laugh. Yeah, just fine. We only got Freddy's psychotic OCD mom in a way of a nice holiday to Japan.
Freddy's getting his ass beat in the background.
Elle says, I don't know who these people are. I don't know their gags, but I'm glad you're informing me.
That sounds like a crime happening in the background. Are you sure Freddy is okay?
What's wrong? Why doesn't your mom want me inviting you to your house, to my house?
Elle chuckled. Of course, Mrs. Benson. Don't worry. I've made arrangements to mollify her. Does anybody know what mollify means?
Mollify? What the fuck?
I'm sure it's Japanese.
Mollify, like M-U-L-L?
Mollify.
M-U-L-L.
Moll. Like doll.
Yeah, mollify.
Mm-hmm. Carly scrunched her eyebrows together.
To appease the anger or anxiety of someone.
That makes sense.
That's a word.
He's going to inject her with a drug.
Mm,
A Japan drug, no less.
indeed.
You liking those green M&Ms?
Do you want one? I have poured a many two in my hand.
Nah, I'm good.
I'll try one. Thank you, bud.
You guys like the green M&M?
I do.
I got a pack of all greens.
What's your favorite thing about her?
She got them legs and them boots.
She's the only one that I do personality for anymore.
They do the brown one, too.
The brown one.
Yeah.
Does he have a coating, or is he like just chocolate?
No, that's the one secretary with the glasses.
Mm.
Yeah,
That's
it
right.
is a candy coating, but it's a brown candy coating.
Mm.
It seems kind of redundant, but whatever.
I think she's
They
like
could have
the
had
brownie
purple or pink. No, she's just... Well, like, they all have normal ones, but then there's also, like, the flavors. Like, that's, like, key lime pie flavor or something, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This podcast sponsored by M&M's.
By Mars Candy Company.
Elle's gonna send a bag of M&M's to Mrs. Benson's house to mollify her.
How much is shipping on a single bag of M&Ms to Japan? Or to America from Japan? Like $40.
Japanese flavor.
Wow.
Like matcha M&M's. Red bean M&M.
Just a single red bean in a candy coating.
God. I mean, if they can put a peanut in there.
Yeah.
Carly scrunched her eyebrows together in confusion when she heard an unfamiliar voices coming from the hallway. She poked her head out of the apartment to see two large men in police uniforms, carefully but firmly holding Freddie, Sam, and Mrs. Benson at a safe distance from each other. And will be escorting Mr. Benson, Miss Puckett, and Miss Shea on their trip, so they'll be completely safe, one was saying to Mrs. Benson reassuringly. Carly dashed back into the apartment, slamming the door behind her. What? She cried. We don't need personal escorts. Ah, but you see, you won't have any. I've merely hired these guards to ensure you that you will be able to come, which is why I was calling. Your flight time has been changed. You leave at 3 in the morning tomorrow. I have emailed 3 first-class tickets to your email address. Carly gasped, and once she heard the tone that meant that the detective had hung up, ran into the hallway.
Hung up on her after saying, okay.
Just saying, tomorrow, 3 a.m., be there.
My guards will make you, don't worry.
Okay.
Guys, she exclaimed, we got a pack. Chapter 3. I was only gonna call him a wart sucker. Do you guys have anything? Spencer asked for the 15th time that morning. In fact, Carly wasn't even sure if 1 a.m. actually counted as morning. Yes, for crying out loud, Sam yawned, and Carly and Spencer looked around, trying to locate the exhausted blonde. Eventually, Carly lifted up one of the suitcases on the sofa and found the shape of 2 legs covered by a blanket. Geez, Sam, she cried, kicking the blankets. You can't go back to sleep half an hour before the taxi arrives. Sam wearily pushed Freddie's carry-on bag, currently hiding her waist, to the floor with a loud crash. Rising from her nest of blankets, her hair sticking up in all directions, she moaned, "Carly, why did it have to be so early?" They heard a loud yell from the studio above their heads. "What just fell on the floor? I swear, Sam, I'll throttle you if you dropped any of my luggage." Sam glanced at Freddy's discarded bag lying in a pathetic heap of probably smashed technology on the apartment floor. Well, Sam shrugged, making an attempt to flatten her wild hair. "Freddy, get down here, you butthead!" Carly yelled back, worrying more and more as each minute ticked by on the digital watch of her paraphone. Abruptly, her phone began to ring. She answered it quickly, anxious of another update from Elle. Instead, a horrific screech came through the phone, so loud that she had to hold it away from her ear to make sense of the sound. "Be quiet!" Lubert, the creep in the lobby, yelled. "Some of us are trying to sleep," Sam called from the sofa. "How do you even get your number?" Carly shrugged and screeched back into the phone. "Well, some of us are going on a very important trip to Japan." Sam jumped up from the couch and opened her mouth to add her own addition to the conversation, but Carly hung up before Sam could say whatever foul quip had come to mind.
Clyde's gonna ask Lubert what his full name is.
"Lubert?" "Messing with." "I was only going to call him a wart sucker." But Carly wasn't given a chance to respond as a very tired Freddy stumbled down the stairs carrying a suitcase in his overnight bag. "You can't stay over at that house without all your ointment, sweetie. I don't care if it's only across the hallway."
That house. Elle's house.
Says Mrs. Benson in a flashback, I guess. "Well, finally," Sam said, and Freddy glared at her. "Hey, well, at least I actually packed for a trip, miss. I'll just shove everything I own into a suitcase." Carly's phone began to ring again. "Yes?" Carly gasped into the paraphone. "Ah, Miss Shea." A voice, not Elle's, spoke calmly. This man sounded more elderly and had a strong English accent. "Mr. L has requested that I inform you of your taxi's imminent arrival." Carly frowned. Well, obviously he was working with Elle, but who the heck was he? Okay, but who are you?" she asked, but found that only a continuous tone answering her. Mysterious Elle associate man had hung up. During these exchanges, Spencer had walked into the kitchen, probably to get some food for Sam. Now, though, he dashed into the living room at full speed, yelling, "Carly, the taxi is here! Hurry up and grab your... Ow! Oh, God! Carly, I'm going to die!"
Oh, no!
The last part was when he tripped over his own feet and landed on the table with a Rubik's Cube on his crotch.
Oh.
No. He's going to die.
They tripped onto a kitchen knife.
And then he trips onto over his 2 feet. He lands on a Rubik's Cube with his crotch. That's written in the death note.
Cracking up while he's writing.
Spencer Shea trips over his own feet, landing on a coffee table, and his crotch smashes into a Rubik's Cube, and killing him instantly.
The laugh track plays, then after a few seconds he dies.
Not one of the trio paid much attention to this, however, and were rushing to grab all of their bags and stack them in the elevator with enough room left over to fit inside themselves. As soon as they reached the lobby, a youngish man who looked to be of Japanese origin started to grab their bags, giving them a small smile. "You kids ready to go to Japan?" And that's the end.
Whoa, is that Jackie Chan?
Sure.
You did your Jackie Chan Adventures voice.
Well, I didn't give anyone else a Japanese accent, so someone had to get it.
Oh, okay.
So we save it for the one line of the last character in the franchise. Is it in fact Jackie Chan?
I give that light Yagami's Cavalcade of Catastrophe out of 10.
I give that 2 potatoes clutched so hard they're thinned out into entire chips.
I rate that story Light rating iCarly's episodes 5 out of 5.
Going through every episode and rating it after he makes an account.
Let's see.
That was hilarious.
That was. Let's see. I can guess. Continued.
I'm a bit upset that we didn't get to see them do any actual crime solving, but alas,
True.
at least Light and Matsuda got to have fun watching iCarly together.
Yeah, that was good.
Laughing, bowling over.
On the job.
It's part of the research. Alright, Steven, hit us with that one.
Alright. Carly and Sam are walking to Caillou's house one morning after eating breakfast.
Fuck.
A week ago, they hosted a Meet iCarly contest and Caillou won it. Now, Carly and Sam are unhappy.
It's a 3-year-old.
He's just a kid who's 4. Each day he grows some more. He likes exploring. He's Caillou.
He's exploring the internet. That can't be good.
You're not wrong either. He's gonna find the fappening.
His dad signed him up so he'd have a babysitter.
Boris.
Boris doesn't want to look after his kid, so he
Drops him
just...
off in front of the high-rise apartment building and says, "Alright, Caillou, have fun," and drives off.
He sees the picture of Jeanette McCurdy in the mirror with a Thor hammer and he goes, "Oh, jeez, they gotta do something about these internet videos."
You really like the fappening.
I do. Let's see. Now, Carly and Sam are unhappy because it means they have to spend a whole day with Caillou. Carly, do we really have to do this? Sam whines. Yes, we do, Sam, Carly says. I don't want to do this either, but we're the ones who hosted the contest, so it's our responsibility.
Is this going to be a remake of the Mandy episode?
I have no idea.
Pick the winner live. Should have picked the winner quietly and then said, "This is a bad one. Pick a different one."
They reach into a hat, look at the name Grimace, and then reach again.
Well, the first name said Soul Eater Evans, and they weren't too happy with that one.
No, true.
Listen to the Soul Eater episode to get that reference.
But it's so stupid. Why does a 4-year-old boy want to meet the stars of iCarly? I don't know. Maybe he's just trying to make friends. He should be making friends his own age then, Sam whines. We're teenagers, and when people hear about us playing with a kid, they're gonna think we're weird.
That's not wrong.
Yeah, I'd go with Sam on this one. But we made a commitment, Carly says. If we back out, it'll upset him, and they'll think we're jerks. So, that's what Miley Stewart did when she had that Hannah Montana concert. But she broke the kid's heart, and now everyone hates her, even her parents.
Gee.
I can live with being hated, Sam says. It's only for a day, Sam, Carly says. Let's just get it over with.
This is my impression of a duck. Quack, 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 quack. Here it go again.
This is my impression of a duck. Quack, quack. Carly and Sam are now at Caillou's house. They have just met Caillou's
Wait, they go
parents.
to his house?
Yeah.
The contest is to have Carly and Sam fly to your house.
Free
That's
ticket.
not a good idea for a contest. It could make you go anywhere.
Yeah, they sure are gonna make. Yeah, you sure are gonna look weird.
Meet me at this address.
Chris Hansen's gonna be there.
It's such a imagine them pulling it live and being like, "All right, you want a guest spot on our show? It won't be live, but we'll be coming to your house. We won't tell you when we're gonna be there, but we'll be there."
Carly and
Big plans tonight? What are you doing talking with a 4-year-old on the internet?
They get to
I
Caillou's
have the
house.
chat logs.
I have the episode.
They knock on Caillou's door and Chris Hansen answers.
And then Carly says, "We're just coming to hang out."
There was a contest. Yeah.
Is that what you tell all of your victims?
Don't contests usually have a must be 18 years old or old to enter?
Don't contests usually have a contest and not just a you win
Come to
email?
your house.
I mean, what kind of prize is that?
They knock on the door and it's Chris Hansen in Caillou's clothes.
And if I weren't here tonight, would you guys just be hanging out? Yeah.
I don't know.
We didn't want to. Seems like I knew I shouldn't have come.
Carly and Sam are now at Caillou's house. They have just met Caillou's parents and they are all in the living room. We're glad you girls are here, Boris says.
Oh, it's Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Oh, no! Caillou's really been looking forward to today. That really made this sound dark now.
It's weird that Caillou's not in the room.
The parents have to meet them to make sure they're okay.
Yeah.
Before they can be trusted to influence Caillou.
You'd think they would just all be there together the entire time.
Yeah.
Not like an introduction and then be like, alright, go into his room.
Caillou, you can come out now. They don't have any weapons on them.
Caillou, Carly and Sam are here, Doris calls. Yay! Caillou cheers coming into the room.
Why'd you make him a crippled old man?
He's really trying to suppress his rage. What kind of name is Caillou? And why is he bald, Sam mutters.
Boris is gonna kick her ass.
Caillou, get back in your room. I'm gonna talk to this girl alone.
He takes his belt off. Doris, take Caillou inside.
Carly elbowed her for saying that. Be nice, Carly scolds.
Be nice to the 4-year-old.
You did a great job of winning that contest, Caillou, Boris says. Now, you get to...
What kind of compliment is that?
Well, we don't have any context of what the contest is.
True.
That's true. It's
like,
not...
he could have submitted, like, a drawing, or it could have just been click here to enter.
True.
Good job, Caillou. You really clicked here.
Now, you get to spend the whole day with Carly and Sam. Are you excited? Yeah!
And their strange male friend filming it all.
And
Freddy doesn't say a word with this big camera on his shoulder.
Boris continues to, like, passive-aggressively mention Freddy, but Freddy doesn't say anything. He just looks...
Oh my
he just
God.
looks at Boris.
And looks back at his camera feed.
Yeah! Caillou cheers. We're gonna have lots of fun. We might even be friends. Yeah. Right, Sam mutters. You three play nice now, Doris says before leaving the room with Boris.
You shouldn't do that.
Hi, Carly. Hi, Sam. Caillou
I really like
greets.
the thought of Carly and Sam standing in this world where the borders aren't
That
painted in all the way.
There's so much bigger. It would just look weird.
They're just sitting there, standing, looking at Caillou silently.
This is a Twitter post waiting to happen.
It's like you read these Caillou stories and there's never any like context to the show. It's just Caillou bullshitting with his parents.
He's gonna get grounded by the end of this, I know it.
I hope so. I hope they have a whole grounded day. Let's see here. You three play nice now, Doris says before leaving the room with Boris. Hi, Carly. Hi, Sam. I'm glad we get to spend the day together. Do you want to meet my sister and my cat? Might as well, since we're stuck here, Carly says. Carly, Sam, and Caillou are now in Rosie's room. Rosie's playing with her toys. That's Rosie, Caillou says, pointing to Rosie.
Freddy, get a close-up on Rosie.
It's gonna look really weird from the perspective of the audience.
That's Rosie, that's my sister.
The concept of Caillou not being able to articulate well is pretty fucking great.
He's 4!
The feed just starts and like it's like
that is my sister.
it's POV Boris answering the door and saying come in and just no context to what's going on.
Well, Steven, he doesn't go like, this is my sister, Rosie. I love her very much. And then he shoves her. And slaps her and shoves her again.
Oh my
Boris
God.
breaks down the door and says, Caillou, no!
Make a plotagon of that, Steven.
Okay.
Caillou and iCarly. Fuck plotagon. I haven't thought of that in months. Now I'm pissed off.
I'm sure there's plenty to watch. Hey, Rosie, Carly says, leaning close to Rosie and patting her. Rosie hits Carly with her rowel. Ah! She hit me! She didn't mean to. She was just playing, Caillou says. Are you okay? No! I got a bump on my head! Carly whines.
Carly immediately got wrecked.
By a fucking
Carly was
2-year-old.
playing cool, and now she's mad too.
I can go get you a Band-Aid. I'll be back, Caillou says, leaving the room.
Just alone with Rosie filming.
Freddy's not actually there. I added that.
No, I like the headcanon better.
Yeah, Freddy's there, but nobody acknowledges him.
Yeah, he's like the guy in the office that films everything.
Yeah.
He's filming all this.
It's like every now and then one of them looks directly into the camera.
Yeah.
Caillou comes back with a Band-Aid and gives it to Carly. Here you go.
Carly says, "Put it on."
Thanks, Carly says, putting the Band-Aid on her bump. What's your problem? Sam scolds, giving Rosie a dirty look. Rosie hits Sam with her rattle. Ah! She hit me too! She didn't mean to. She was just playing, Caillou says. Are you okay? No! I have a bump on my head,
Again?
Sam whines. I can go get you a Band-Aid. I'll be back. Caillou says.
This is a believable situation.
Yeah.
This child is going to get stuff.
Repetition's key for comedy.
He comes back with another Band-Aid and gives it to Sam. Here you go.
I can go get you a Band-Aid.
Thanks, Sam says, putting the Band-Aid on her bump.
Both just crossing their arms with Band-Aids on.
Oh,
Man.
look, there's Gilbert. That's his cat. Caillou says, pointing to Gilbert as he comes into the room. Hey, Gilbert, Carly says, leaning close to Gilbert and petting him. Gilbert bites Carly. Ah! He bit me! He didn't mean to, he was just playing. Carly says, are you okay? No! I have a bite mark on my head! I can go get you another Band-Aid. I'll be back. Caillou says.
This story is emotionally draining.
Caillou's parents just watching him walk back and forth in the hallway, coming back with Band-Aids.
He's gonna run out eventually. What are they gonna do? These are all really mediocre pain. What if they have an actual issue? I didn't expect us to go this route. He comes back with a third Band-Aid and gives it to Carly. Here you go.
Just bring the box, Caillou.
Thanks, Carly says, putting the Band-Aid on her bite mark. What's your problem? Sam scolds, giving Gilbert a dirty look. Gilbert bites Sam. Ah, he bit me too. He didn't mean to, he was just playing, Caillou says. Are you okay? No. I got a bite mark on my hand, Sam whines. I can go get you another Band-Aid. I'll be back, Caillou says, leaving the room.
I love it when Caillou says, "I'll be back," and leaves the room.
I can get you another.
Caillou's really enjoying his time with Carly and
He
Sam.
closes his eyes and nods and says, "I'll be back."
It's been nothing but injury. They're gonna sue his family into the ground. He comes back with a fourth Band-Aid and gives it to Sam. Here you go. Thanks, Sam says, putting the Band-Aid on her bite mark. Let's go to my room and play some board games, Caillou suggests.
They're out of the pain dungeon.
Car. Which board game they'll play?
Oh, true.
Mousetrap.
Yo.
Twister.
Lupin Louie.
Shoots and ladders.
The pie face game so I can get hurt more.
Cards Against Humanity.
Carly, Sam, and Caillou are now in Caillou's room. Rosie is there to watch them play. So, what do you want to play first? Carly asked. Let's play Candyland, Caillou suggests. Carly.
Candyland sucks.
It sucks.
It's very,
It's somehow more arbitrary than a dice roll.
It is very, very, very.
You know how
vanilla.
fucked it is to get the plum card when you're at like the last row?
Right.
And that sends you back to the beginning of the board. The art's kind of cool, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carly, Sam, and Caillou play Candyland. Caillou wins and Carly and Sam lose. Rosie hits Carly and Sam with her rattle and calls them losers. That game was lame, Sam whines.
Yeah.
Can we play something else? Carly whines. Okay, let's play Chutes and Ladders.
Ah,
Caillou
you
suggests.
got it.
Let's
It's like
go.
the same thing, but worse.
Wheels and escalators.
Yeah.
Escalators. Carly, Sam, and Caillou play Chutes and
Sam's gonna
Ladders.
say a bad word in front of Caillou.
Caillou! Stop me!
Wait till Boris hears about this.
Oh god. Carly, Sam, and Caillou play Chutes and Ladders. Caillou wins and Carly and Sam lose. Rosie hits Carly and Sam with a rattle and calls them losers. That game was lame, Sam whines. Can we play something else? Carly whines. Let's play Trouble, Caillou suggests.
What are you kids doing? Getting in trouble!
Caillou knows how to play an impressive amount of board games for his age.
True.
3.
Carly, Sam, and Caillou play Trouble. Caillou wins and Carly and Sam lose. Rosie hits Carly and Sam with a rattle and calls them losers. That game was lame. Sam whines. Can we play something else? Carly whines. Okay, let's play Hungry Hungry Hippos. Caillou suggests.
There's no fucking way Caillou wins at Hungry Hungry Hippos. That is the only game with a remote sense of skill out of these four.
I love Hungry Hungry Hippos. I hope they whoop his ass. Carly, Sam, and Caillou play Hungry Hungry Hippos. Caillou wins and Carly and Sam lose. Rosie hits Carly and Sam with a rattle and calls them losers. That game was lame! Sam whines. Can we play something else? Carly whines.
I get the feeling this isn't scripted like either an iCarly or a Caillou episode.
No.
It's
Okay.
just someone's sick, perverted fantasy.
Okay.
Where Carly and Sam are losers and Caillou's the big man on campus.
Some guy who identifies with Caillou especially, but hates them.
It's a strange situation.
It really is. Okay, let's play Hi-Ho Cheerio. Caillou suggests.
Is that a board
I
game?
hate Hi-Ho Cheerio.
I don't know what it is.
I don't know what it
picture up.
is.
It's another board game.
Oh. They're up to 5 now. How long? They've been in this room for at least an hour.
There's so many!
Oh, I could just see the walls of copy pasted. Just speed through the board names of the board games. It's all gonna be the same thing.
It's okay that there's a break into another fucking
Yuck.
infinite loop of hurt.
I hate looking at that, Steven.
I had no idea this was the route this was gonna take.
It's just a counting game. You just you spin the thing and it tells you how many cherries to take and you take cherries and whoever has the most wins or
Why
whatever.
don't they play Monopoly, a man's game?
Well, regardless, Caillou beat them at that too, and then they got hurt. So then they play Ants in the Pants. Hell yeah! But they also lose that, and then they get hurt, and so they play Bananagrams, and so they get hurt again, and so they play Don't Break the Ice, and then they win, and then they get hurt again.
Wait.
The Caillou wins and they get hurt again. So then they play Colorama, and then Rosie hits them again, and then they play Quirkle and get hurt again.
Caillou's a game master.
He has so many games.
He's mastered them all.
They play Snail's Pace Race, and then they lose. And then they play Let's Go Fishing and lose. And then Caillou suggests they play with his blocks.
Fine. We will play a simple game since you cannot understand. These games.
They've been playing at Kaya's house for hours.
Simple-minded children, you can't beat me at anything.
Fine. We will play blocks since you cannot understand board games.
Carly, Sam, and Caillou build a big block tower. Right before they finish it, Rosie knocks it down and all the blocks fall on Carly. Rosie! Carly yells. It's okay, she was just playing, Caillou says. That's what you said when she hit me! Let's build another tower. Carly, Sam, and
Go
Caillou.
home, Carly.
Carly, Sam, and Caillou build another big block tower. Right before they finish it, Rosie knocks it down again, and all the blocks fall on Sam.
They really should have just kicked Rosie out of the room. Like
Yeah.
3 hours ago.
She's
They're in
one.
Rosie's room. They can't.
No, they left Rosie's room.
She's a sociopath.
She's 2 and a freak.
Rosie! Sam yells. It's okay, she was just playing. That's what you said when she hit me!
These people have been yelling at their children for like hours.
Doris and Doris just sitting stoically in the living room, thanking God that they don't have to pay attention to their children.
They're used to the same logic loop of everyone who plays with Caillou.
Yeah, they've been through this loop before. Every day it's someone new in their house.
Oh my god. Let's build another tower. Carly, Sam, and Caillou build another tower. When they finish it, Gilbert knocks it down. So Gilbert knocks it down and it hurts Carly again. So then they do it again. It falls on Sam. What the fuck? And then Carly, Sam, and Caillou build another big block tower. Right before they finish it, Caillou knocks it down and all the blocks fall on Carly. Caillou! Carly yells, sorry, Caillou, it was an accident. Let's build another tower.
Gee, I wonder what accident's gonna happen next.
This time all the blocks fall on Sam. Sorry, Sam, it was an accident. Let's build another tower. Carly, Sam, and Caillou build another tower, and this time they finish it. Yay, we did it! Caillou cheers.
On tower number 7.
And nobody knocked it down this time, Carly says. The tower collapses by itself and falls onto her and Sam. No more blocks! Sam yells. Okay, let's watch TV. Sesame Street is on.
Just watching TV now.
Sitting
Go home.
They
quietly.
keep yelling at him for having fun.
Doris and Doris, get out of the living room. We're using it.
And they look at each other and get up.
Carly, Sam, and Caillou are watching Sesame Street on TV. They're sitting on the floor, and Rexy is sitting on Caillou's lap. That's his toy dinosaur. Can we please watch something else? Carly begs. We're too old for Sesame Street. No, it's my favorite show, and I want to watch it, Caillou yells.
And you have to stay.
Forever.
Rosie and Gilbert come over to the three. Hi, Rosie. Hi, Gilbert. Do you want to watch TV with us? No, we just want to pick on us some more, Sam mutters. Rosie, you can sit with Carly, and Gilbert, you can sit with Sam, Caillou says. Why can't they sit with you? Carly whines. Because Wixie is sitting with me, Caillou says. Lucky him, Sam mutters. Rosie sits on Carly's lap, and Gilbert sits on Sam's lap. Rosie starts pulling Carly's hair, and Gilbert starts hitting Sam's face with his tail.
Well, that's not that bad.
That's not terrible at all. It's normal. Ah! Quit it! Rosie! Carly and Sam respectively yell at their fucking attackers. Rosie and Gilbert... Oh my fucking... Rosie and Gilbert fart on them. Ah! They fart on me! Rosie wants to sit with Sam, and Gilbert wants to sit with Carly,
They're gonna
Caillou
just do the
says.
same thing again.
Repetition's comedy.
They do exactly that. Let's do this. Me, Wexy, Carly, and Sam can sit on the couch, and Rosie and Gilbert can sit on the floor, Caillou suggests. Fine by me, Sam says. Carly, Sam, and Caillou and Rexy sit on the couch. Much better. This time Caillou farts. This is a fucking madhouse. I'm not even halfway done.
How long is the story?
That's a good question.
Long enough.
6,000 words. No.
Oh, no.
Steven.
God.
Turn it off.
Yeah, that's enough of that. Okay.
They brapped the end.
They flapped the end. I give that these two teenagers getting their absolute shit kicked in for an hour and a half.
I give that a freaking 4-hour live show where nothing happens.
I give just thinking of Freddy not being able to sit down in the living room. I give that a 2 out of 10 repeating.
Oh my god.
Trunks is POV. With the androids defeated, there really isn't any point for me to stay in my time, so I decided to try going to school in the past and form new friends of my own.
Right.
I don't know what school I'll be going to, but I'll find out when I get there. The machine starts to rumble, and I start to feel myself moving at light speed. It starts to move even faster when suddenly it just stops. I slowly open the door and step out of the machine. I am currently in the year 2011, and I have landed in Seattle, Washington. I begin to walk slowly through the big city, trying not to draw attention to myself.
AKA West City.
This is going to be interesting. Carly's POV.
Wait, so how old is Trunks supposed to be? I never really thought about that.
Just defeated the androids.
Yeah, but...
So 17 if I had to guess. I don't know.
That's true.
Probably.
I mean, I guess ages are all over the place, because, like, Goku is so fucking tiny when he's 12 and then 15. But then he finally gets a growth spurt when he turns 18. And fights King Piccolo, or Piccolo Jr., Ma Jr. as they call him.
Let's see here. He is during the... that's during Super. Let's see here. Yeah, when he came to the past originally, he was like a 17.
Okay. Trunks is so fucking cool.
And Super, he's 33 apparently.
That is not true.
That's crazy.
That is not true.
He can't be. He's still like treating his mom like a mom.
That's what I'm saying. Let's see here. Where's his fucking... Come on, Wiki.
Yeah, that can't be more than just, like... Time has passed. We're getting into Dragon Ball territory right now, listeners. If you read the Super manga, they actually have a thing where Trunks and Supreme Kai team up to stop Majin Buu's resurrection, which is, I feel, would have been a nice piece to add to the anime that they didn't do to make the Goku Black arc somewhat interesting. But so there's been at least like 7 years between then and then.
Okay, so 17 when he first showed up in the past. He was about 19 to 20 when he returned to kill the androids when Cell was killed.
Oh wait, I forgot, because he was a kid when Majin Buu was in Dragon Ball Z, so
yeah,
I don't know. I give up.
He was 20 when he beat the androids in his time when he went back.
Oh yeah, the hyperbolic time chamber.
Yeah.
So probably about the same age as the actors when they were in high school.
Probably.
It's like I could use a couple years of refresher. You know, his mom's a fucking genius.
Carly's POV. It has been weeks now since Sam and Freddy started dating, and they are starting to get really annoying. They're always complimenting each other, kissing wherever they go, and I think they've even done the nasty together. Whoa, this is a strange timeline.
Where Trunks is there, and also Freddy and Sam have done the nasty.
Trunks has arrived. Carly and Sam have
Freddy stoically looking at her, holding his big camera on his shoulder as he's thrusting into her.
His hair is still perfect and hairsprayed up, but his forehead sweating.
Yeah. That's foul.
I hate this.
Nathan Kress, come on the podcast, please.
Trunks, try again. Go to a different timeline.
Go to the Drake and Josh timeline. Do battle with Mindy.
It's not like I'm in love with Freddy or anything. It's just I want to be in a relationship like that. Oh well, I guess I'll just have to wait.
Well. If only a suave, purple-haired Chad would come to school.
Okay, Hey, it's me, author. Sorry, I haven't updated any of my stories in a while. I've been having a little bit of account trouble lately, but now that I have everything under control, we can move on with the next chapter.
Thank God. I thought that was where it was going to end.
It usually does.
Yeah.
Trunks in Seattle, Chapter 2. Ridgeway High and new friends.
Yay.
Trunks POV. My parents think that I've gathered enough fake information about myself in order to attend Ridgeway High. I have been staying with them for about 4 months, and I think I'm finally ready for school. I've never been to school before, though, because of my issues with the androids. I've never been to school before. I was always just taught things by my mother.
Because most people were fucking dead.
For these past couple of months, my parents, more my mother, have been trying to teach me what it's like to be in school. It doesn't seem too bad, but I have a feeling I'm wrong about that. Anyway, the private helicopter just dropped me off. I'm ready for my very first winter in a public high school in a helicopter.
Neville Pepperman.
God, it's just
In like the middle of Seattle.
Yeah.
How does he get down? Like helipad somewhere?
he could just
He could also fly.
he could fly if he didn't want. That would be less inconspicuous than getting dropped off in a private helicopter. Gohan would fly on the Nimbus and just land on the roof. He could do that.
True.
I'm ready for my very first day of school, and I'm much more than a little nervous. I still don't know how to make friends.
We're about to find out if Trunks is pure enough to ride the Nimbus.
I'm not even sure what I'll be doing there. I practically know all the subjects. Why are you going to school? You're older than you need to be, and you know all the information.
Right.
He needs the social aspect in his life.
His mother thinks he's socially inept.
He's gonna go.
He's a mama's boy.
You'll rue the day, Carly Shay. And then he does
He
the
becomes a
fucking
villain.
heat dome on her.
He does the Finnish Buster in the school.
Yeah.
It'd be so
burn
scary to
it.
watch.
Oh yeah.
I slowly step into the building and look at all the commotion going on. Let the madness begin, I mutter under my breath. What an edgy teenager.
I hope he's got his sword with him.
Future Trunks is so fucking cool.
And wearing his purple jacket and his sword on his sheath.
His branded
Principal's like, you
corporate
can't bring that in
jacket.
here.
He's so much stronger than any child.
Freaking ripped. I mutter under my breath, tired because it's only 8:30. I look at the door labeled Principal Franklin. This must be the place, I say to myself, casually recognizing the room to be the principal's office. Is he just gonna go into the principal's office and get, like, admission to the school that way?
He's gonna become
Sure.
the principal.
Whoa.
He's gonna overpower
That's
the
his
principal.
job. He just signed, he got hired. I say to myself, casually recognizing the room to be the principal's office. I walk into the room slowly, preparing for the worst, but hoping for the best. Hello, I am Principal Franklin, and welcome to Ridgeway High.
I
He
would have
said-
liked the story better if they took a Billy Madison route and he had to start from kindergarten.
He said with a formal greeting and welcoming, like, smile on his face. It really is an honor to have you attend our school. We hope you find the atmosphere here good enough so you don't get to the point where you literally want to stick pins in your eyes.
Oh.
I wasn't sure what to make of this statement and just shook my head yes.
neither.
Shook my head yes. Now, just know that even though you're the son of Bulma Briefs, you still must follow the normal rules that every student here follows. Is that understood? He said with sternness. I guess Bulma's also adapted to this timeline and become famous.
I think he's in the Z chronological timeline, but Seattle, Washington just happens to be there as well.
I guess so.
So like Vegeta, because he said parents earlier and not just parent.
Yeah.
So Vegeta's also admitting him to school. You need to become strong and smart. This is the finest school for that.
Bullshit, Grandpa. I'm Trunks fucking Briefs.
Kicking his feet up on the chair, his boots.
You need to go to this school and get in contact with the iCarly crew. I really want to meet them.
You see this sword? I fucking killed a guy with this sword.
Don't say that at school.
Kill.
Get in so much trouble with the principal.
Kicking his feet up, knocking his pictures of his kids over with his fucking
You got a
shoes.
story for your next handwritten fanfiction. Trunks goes to school and is a badass and gets expelled.
He's a douchebag.
The mean bald teacher tries to send her to detention and he does the heat dome attack in the whole room.
I nodded my head yes. He gave me my schedule and I started to walk out. You know, it's funny, but I thought you were 8. Oh no. He might be on to me. I need to clean this up quick. Oh, I have a little brother. I lied, but he doesn't need to know that. Oh, that makes more sense. You being 8, that would be ridiculous, he said, laughing.
With those muscles.
I fake laughed.
And that hair.
with him and quickly walked out the door.
Chiseled jaw.
The hallway was very busy and very loud. I looked at my schedule. My first period is science, I say to myself. Class doesn't start for another 10 minutes. I should use this time as an opportunity to make new friends.
Trunks proceeds to stand against the lockers with his arms crossed.
He proceeds to stand up on his backpack and start yelling, "Attention, high schoolers! I am Trunks!"
He proceeds to shove Gibby into a locker.
He locks the teacher out of the fucking classroom.
Hey, you know any cool kids around here? Boom!
He does the Max Keeple's big move thing and starts writing people's names on his shirt every day that he's gonna bully. And every day he walks into the school and people fear what he's written on his shirt.
Trunks is the bully that the faculty hired in the $1 Million Extreme sketch.
Adult man to bully the children and keep them in line.
I'm singing a song and headbutt someone in the stomach. Boom!
He's in the fucking back of the classroom using his sword by the tip, carving his name and other shit into the desk.
Go watch $1 Million Extreme World Peace on YouTube. It's on there for free.
Watch the principal's the bully school skit.
That's the main one that matters. Everything else is moderate, but that one's really good.
I say, looking at the locker 246, while walking there, I come across two girls. Carly's POV. I heard that there was a new student coming to Ridgeway, and I thought it would be nice to greet them and welcome them to this
The camera shifts from his eyes to her eyes as they look at each other.
Sam's only with me because I bought my sandwich that I was supposed to eat for breakfast with me. So
What?
where is he? Sam says with such enthusiasm. It's like highlighted, such enthusiasm. I don't know what that means. I guess she's very excited.
It's sarcastic.
Oh. I think I see him over there by locker 246. As if you can tell the...
If you can't tell who he is from that far, how can you mathematically figure out which locker?
This
he's
Rain Man ass technique Carly's developed.
Carly waves her hand over and just in like, that's 246. I counted.
I say, pointing to the locker, we walk over there and stop him while he's walking to his locker. Hi, my name is Carly Shay.
Shove him into the locker. Trunks goes home. He is looking down at the dinner table. They're like, "What's wrong, Trunks?" I don't want to talk about it.
You were so excited this morning.
You hardly touched your peas. I'm gonna go to my room. There are these two girls. I think they were web stars. They bullied me.
He was so strong a second ago. Why'd you make him so weak now?
It's funny.
We walk over there and stop him. Hi, my name is Carly Shay, and this is my friend Sam Puckett. He seemed nervous, like he had never made actual contact with people before. Hi, my name is Trunks Briefs, he said with a nervous stutter. Wait, did he just say Briefs as in Bulma Briefs? Wait, you're Bulma Briefs' son! Sam bellowed. Honestly, I didn't think she knew that. I thought Freddie would be the type of person to know that. Well, they are dating, so I guess that would be the reason why.
Have you seen this Bulma chick? She's crazy hot.
Yeah, that's right, he said, seeming kind of nervous. I would think Bulma Briefs' son would be used to talking and getting to know new people with all the spotlight, but come to think of it, I've never seen him before in any magazine or billboard. She must not take him out much.
Implying he gets left at home every day.
God, that's funny.
So why are you going to school here? Sam asked, looking confused. I thought that was
this 20-year-old.
What the fuck?
You look way too old. Why are you going to school here?
God.
Well, he didn't seem to have an excuse, so I decided to end this whole odd situation right now. Sam, I know you probably don't care, but we need to get to our next class, I said, pulling her arm. If you want, Trunks, you can come over after school later. I live at Bushwell Plaza, apartment 8C. See ya! I said, waving him goodbye. Oh, And I have a boyfriend, so keep that in mind, Sam said. Sam, I said. It's very rude to rub your boyfriend in people's faces. Trunks POV.
Trunks said nothing.
Oh my god.
He said,
He said,
He's like fucking Rio and Shamu.
He is, isn't
Okay.
he?
What is it, man? Beat it!
Well, that wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Looks like I made it out of that situation, too. Now to science, I say to myself, heading off to the science.
Oh my god.
When I get there, I see a number of droopy faces. Everyone looks as if their soul has been sucked right out of them. Hello, Mr. Briefs. I am Mr. Henry, and I am going to be your science teacher for this semester. Sit anywhere you like, he said, trying to be as welcoming as possible. He had big glasses covering most of his face. He had a sweater vest and a blue tie with a white undershirt. I decided to sit next to this kid with a tight polo shirt, a brunette. I sat down to the teacher starting to go on about something, but I wasn't listening.
Why are you here?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Your first class and you're already not listening. Fuck.
School's hard.
He's thinking about that girl that shoved him into the lockers.
Yeah, oh my lord.
The brunette kid gave me a wide smile and brought his chair closer to me. Are you really Trunks Briefs? He said with the same wide smile. Yeah, who are you? My name is Freddie Benson, and it is an honor to have you at our school. The kid who I now know as Freddie said, You know, it's weird. I thought you were 8.
I love lines like that.
Same.
The
Oh, my
kid who
lord.
I now know as Freddie.
Little brother! I screamed while standing out of my seat. Oh great, I really need to do something better with these cover-ups. Now everybody's looking at me. Sorry, I say and slowly get back into my seat. So anyways, I really admire the level of technology that your mother has come up with. I begin to explain to him all these things that my mother has invented that she now has shown me over the years. That was Trunks. Anyways, when class ended, I began to walk to my next class, which is language arts with Mrs. Stella. Hey, wait up, Trunks, Freddie said, running up behind me. I think I had the same second period as you. Come on, we'll walk and talk. I arrived at my Trunks is so indifferent to Freddie, he's made no comment on him.
Like
Jesus.
most people.
Besides his name.
He's like, oh, this is Freddie. Interesting.
Yeah. I
I'm
don't like
learning
this guy.
I'm learning so much. I've learned that that's Freddie and those are the girls. She lives at
Apartment
8C.
8C. I arrived at my second period class with no problem, thanks to Freddie's help, and it was quite boring since I again already knew all the subjects.
Oh yeah, I forgot he's a genius. Again, why is he here?
Christ.
I already know all the subjects by heart, in fact. While there, I met a kid named Gibby who was quite strange. So is it true you really Trunks Briefs? Asked Gibby. Yeah, he is, said Freddie. And you wouldn't believe how smart this guy is.
Freddie, don't talk for me. We're not close enough.
Gibby's gonna try and learn how to fly, but then fall from the fucking ceiling.
Gibby's gonna do the finish buster.
Gibby!
The Gibby buster.
Gibby says, Wow, really? Say a long word. Dandelion, I said, looking at him with a confused and concerned expression on my face. Anyways, class ended and the rest of the day was long. At lunchtime, I met up with Sam and Carly again. During the remainder of my periods, I met a mean teacher named, and it pretty much dragged on from there. Then came the end of the day.
Wait, what?
They didn't name him. They just said
Oh.
teacher named.
Teacher named. That's how they wrote that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Met a mean teacher named, and it pretty much dragged on from there.
Oh God.
Christ.
That's why I'm having so much trouble reading this. It's like kind of trying to go slow. Then came the end of the day. So Trunks, remember my offer from this morning? Carly said with a semi-grin and smirk on her face. What offer? I said, sweating while patting the back of my head, even though I knew what she was talking about.
I don't want to go to her house. She's a stranger.
I know you know what I'm talking about, she said, with a sinister but comical face. Well, it's getting late. Come on, Trunks, it'll be fun, she said in a whiny tone. Fine, I'll go. Great, so let's go.
Peer pressure's no good, Trunks.
Last chapter.
Oh god. They're gonna fall in LOVE.
Trunks POV. As we walked to Carly's house, I was quite disturbed. They just met me and they're already agreeing to letting me come to their homes. I've never experienced something like this before. But yet again, I've never experienced school life at all before. I can't help thinking that something may be off here. Like I'm missing something.
You think the author wishes this happened to them?
Yeah. Trunks is a great stand-in for yourself. He's so cool and smart and doesn't like school even though he wanted to go.
Even though he took 4 months to work up the courage to go.
While we were walking, I saw Sam and Freddie earlier today doing couple stuff. It was actually kind of nice. My mother said that is called a romantic relationship. She had one with my father. She told me that despite his temper and attitude towards the world, the time they spent together was always nice. Wonderful, in fact.
Sure.
Alright then.
Bulma's not really the type to sugarcoat, but sure.
I hope that one day I'll be able to experience that myself. But whom would I share that with? I just found out what a locker is. It's something to...
Pardon?
What kind of tangent is that? I just don't know what a locker is.
Trunks is a super genius, but he doesn't know what a locker is?
He just said that, and then Carly immediately interrupts him and says, "Something the matter, Trunks?" Carly said, concerned.
Just thinking about lockers.
You could tell my mind was elsewhere.
This is a locker, Carly.
Never mind. It's not. It's nothing. Nothing. I said in sort of a hesitant sort of way. Me, Carly, and Gibby kept on walking to Carly's apartment.
I'm glad
I
Gibby's
sort of
there.
thought that Sam and Freddie were there, but I guess it was Gibby.
They're there, but they're taking it slow in the background. And Gibby's also there.
When
to make sure they don't get up to anything.
When arrived, I found out that Gibby was not the weirdest person Carly knew.
Damn!
"Hey, I made a lawn," said the man. Gibby said, "Wow, that is a lawn? See? This is why I don't like to leave the house," said Carly. "Honestly, I would like to leave the house either." Spencer looks at me in an annoyed fashion. "Carly, who's your friend?"
What?
I'm just reading this verbatim.
What's happening? I don't know what's happening. He built a lawn and they said, "I never wish I had to leave this place." And Spencer said, "Yeah, I never want to leave. Who's that?"
Either he built a lawn mower or he put grass on the ground in their
Yeah,
room.
he just put a green carpet down.
Tore up the carpet and put
Fucking
sod.
artists.
"Carly, who's your friend?" he said. It looked like he was about to rip my head off, even though technically he wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, don't forget, Trunks, you're the fucking strong guy here.
Trunks is insanely ripped. Spencer looks at me again, now in an excited fashion. "Oh my god, you're Trunks' briefs!" he screamed. I nodded my head. Almost immediately he pulled his shirt off. "Can you sign my back?" he shouted.
Why does everyone know who Trunks' brief is, but also know that he's 8 years old?
I stuttering, not know how to respond. "Spencer, upstairs now," said Carly. "But now!" Spencer slouched upstairs. "Sorry, my brother is, well, I don't really know." "Oh, I don't mind," I said. I was just being polite. I looked around and I saw sculptures all over the place. "Who made all these sculptures?" I asked.
He said that so scared.
"Oh, my brother did." "Yeah, he's an artist," Carly said. I was impressed. They were very unique. I've never seen art like that before. "I'm hungry," Gibby interrupted, going through the cabinets. "Sorry, Gibby, I don't really have any snacks. There's really only peanut butter and pancake mix." "Well, I make pretty good pancakes," I said, trying to find a way to help out. I thought that was Gibby, but it was Trunks.
Let's
Yeah,
go,
no,
Trunks.
Trunks is participating.
"You do? Go make some," Carly said. It was a little weird making pancakes in the middle of the day.
Dude, go make some. Make yourself useful, boy.
But who was I to complain?
Carly locks the door.
I walked the kitchen and started preparing the batter. Then suddenly, Sam and This chapter is really long, I just realized.
You guys gotta start paying attention to the word limit.
Hold on, This is 6,000 words. The first 2 chapters were so short that I didn't even realize.
We both ran into the same issue.
Well, we'll just say the pancakes were good and Trunks got horny.
Thankfully,
later.
in the very... Oh, wait. This goes somewhere, I think. Hold on.
Somewhere.
I accidentally scrolled down when I was checking how long the chapter was. So, Hold on. Okay. You do it, go make some. Then suddenly Sam and Freddy marched through the door. Sam began marching up towards the kitchen, quite frustrated. Unbelievable, she said, obviously upset. You don't live here, Spencer snapped, coming back downstairs.
That's always the good running
Don't walk
gag.
away from me when I'm talking to you, Freddy said to Sam, frustrated as well. Fine, talk, said Sam. Okay, it's not that I don't appreciate what you were trying, said Freddy, but before he could finish, Sam groaned and walked away. You walked away again! Freddy yelled, even more annoyed. They started arguing, and I could tell it was getting out of hand. I put down my pancake batter.
Oh, no.
He rolls up his sleeves.
So awkward for Trunks.
Yeah.
This is his first day here, and that's just a bit ripped from an actual episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah, except Trunks isn't there.
Trunks is just trying to make pancakes in somebody else's house. He's witnessing this couple's fight.
Trunks was pressured into making pancakes out of the kindness of his heart. He doesn't want to, but he just offered because he thought it was the thing to do.
Oh my
He's
god.
stirring pancake uncomfortably.
It's like, I want to ask for a frying pan, but I don't know how to break into this conversation.
Mindlessly making the pancakes chewy as fuck with all the stirring he's doing.
He's gonna stir it really fast. Just make one clump of a pancake. It's super heated in the bowl.
All the gluten in the world. And he's a Super Saiyan, that man.
They look over and his hair is instantly blonde as he's spinning pancake batter really fast, absent-mindedly. Wishing to God he wasn't there.
He's closing his eyes like, I just want to go home. I don't want to be here anymore.
All these stories are better with our interpretations.
This really happened? Trunks is really trying to make pancakes while couples are arguing?
Okay, you're right. We wouldn't have thought of that.
Oh my god.
We wouldn't have thought to have Trunks make pancakes while couples spat.
I put down the pancake batter and looked for green tea in Carly's cabinet. I found some. I prepared the tea and walked over to Freddy and Sam. I patted them both on the shoulder and passed the tea to them. What's this? They said in unison. Can both of you say what's this in unison?
What's this?
It's tea, I told them. Drink it. They drank it reluctantly.
Tea.
They both said
Drink
They both said in unison, "Thank you, Trunks." It was thank you, Trunks.
Thank you, Trunks.
It was no problem. Alright, listen, Sam, Freddy should be able to complain about people to you without worrying that you're going to put up with them in the hospital. I guess, Sam said. And Freddy, even though it's a little extreme to violate a man with bees, you should at least appreciate that Sam did it because she cares about you. Yeah, you're right, Freddy said. I'm sorry, he said to Sam. Give Mama some sugar, Sam said, opening her arms for a hug. Freddy hugged and kissed her. Everyone said, "Aww," and I smiled. I wish that I could be that happy, but I don't think I honestly can.
What?
The end.
You poor man.
Holy shit. Poor guy.
I give that Trunks returning to 0 after this one moment.
I give that Trunks handing them 2 cups full of pancake batter and telling them to drink it.
I give that Trunks getting shoved into locker 246 out of 246.
Holy fuck.
Holy shit, iCarly's so stupid.
You want to hear next week's topic?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yu-Gi-Oh! GX! Generation X!
Oh my
Dream
god.
on, get your dream on, gotta play your cards right.
I can't wait. We have to watch an episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX before
Please.
recording.
Please. Oh god.
Well, you heard it here first. Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, episode 80, the big deal.
There's a huge amount of fanfictions written about specifically GX.
Well, why do you think? It's the school arc.
Hell yeah, let's go.
They go to dual school.
Oh, see the koala card episode where the kid battles his dad with all of his koala cards.
I want to see the episode where, fuck. I couldn't come up with anything fast enough.
I want to see the Crocodile Dundee episode.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, true.
Crocodile Dundee versus the actual crocodile guy.
Versus an actual crocodile.
The dude with the big crocodile on his back versus the crocodile hunter. Steve.
But that guy's also a crocodile hunter.
I almost said Steve Urkel.
Has to be versus Crocodile from
I play a
Spider-Man.
Robo-Urkel.
He summons him. He summons one of the three divine gods and says, "Did I do that?" As Obelisk the Tormentor rises into the playing field and crushes everything.
Oh my god.
Did I do that? And Jaden goes, "Whoa!" YouTube, Twitter, SoundCloud, Spotify. We're not on SoundCloud. Spotify. Check us out. We do shows, art shows, manga Mondays, other things. We're very funny and original. Steven, say something cool.
Let's see here.
I've noticed you do a lot of this thing where you whenever you start to say anything. I hear it a lot when I'm editing these podcasts.
Oh, I never noticed.
It's always funny. I'm like, when we cut back and forth between things, I'm like, okay, here's a spot where I'm gonna cut back and I hear. It's like every time you start a sentence.
I'm like a typewriter, you gotta pull it back every time.
Mm-hmm.
Seen a big pop filter.
Yeah, there we go.
You put a big cotton ball in your mouth.
Get one of those dental things that keeps your mouth open.
A retain? No, not a. Is that a retainer?
No,
No.
I'm talking about the plastic thing.
I'm thinking of Jimmy's retainer from Ed, Edd n Eddy.
Oh god.
Like goes around his head.
That's awful.
Remember when they tightened his retainer too tight and it squeezed his head?
Ugh.
Oh god. I'll flip you like an omelet.
I don't know how to end this episode now.
iCarly. If you could do an iCarly skit, what would it be?
A skit? Like on the web show?
If you could do one skit with the iCarly crew, what would it be?
That's a tough one. I like the one where they made Gibby brush his teeth with mustard and made him teach vocabulary, but they had some trouble in their personal lives during the show, so they had Gibby just keep doing it for 10 minutes. Just keep putting mustard on a toothbrush and brushing his teeth and saying words. They're like, just go. They're not back yet.
I would make a segment called Mimicking Gibby, where Gibby has to mimic an action done in a YouTube clip that they play, and I would rig it so it's all superhuman episodes.
Gibby has to jump onto a microwave with his elbow and smash clean off of it.
Yeah.
I would do one of the ones where they're in they're like the fancy frou-frou family, where Gibby's the dad and then Sam and Freddy are the children that suffer under him.
The bad father.
Here's some food. Father, these are push pins.
They're colorful and pointy, you ungrateful maggots! Now, floss my toes!
Classic.
Toes. Yeah.
Then he gets out a big piece of twine and starts going from toe to toe.
The bad dad.
I want to do the one where we go to Japan and they get left in the mud.
The mud.
I just remembered what we were talking about.
Yeah, and they get tricked by the two Japanese YouTubers, and then they leave them there, and then a car drives by and splatters mud all over them.
Damn.
Mm.
I want Spencer to just make something and it's set on fire.
You want to make moonshine with Spencer?
Flammable moonshine.
The Moonshiners episode, yes.
An episode of iCarly where Spencer just makes moonshine live.
Okay, bye!
Okay.